Violent crime in Washington, D.C. has become a major talking point. So much so that President Donald Trump is promising a bold move to put an end to it once and for all. This upcoming Monday, Trump is scheduled to reveal an announcement at the White House that he claims will essentially stop violent crime in the Capitol. But here's where it gets controversial. The details are still shrouded in mystery, sparking curiosity and debate about what exactly this announcement will involve, and whether it represents a significant shift in policy or just political rhetoric. On his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump wrote, "On Monday, a press conference will be held at the White House, which will, essentially, stop violent crime in Washington, D.C. He went further to emphasize D.C.'s reputation, saying, "It has become one of the most dangerous cities anywhere in the world. It will soon be one of the safest. Thank you for your attention to this matter." While his tone is confident and urgent, it's important to put this in context. Crime statistics for 2025 actually show a decline in various violent crimes compared to the previous year. Specifically, violent crime in D.C. has dropped by 26% so far this year compared to the same period in 2024. Homicides are down 12%. And assaults involving dangerous weapons, which include incidents like shootings and stabbings that didn't result in fatalities, have decreased by 20%. Even carjackings, which had been on the rise in recent years, are down this year compared to both last year and the year before. These numbers suggest improvements, but the perception of crime remains a powerful concern. What's unclear at this point is whether President Trump will be speaking personally at Monday's event, or if the gathering will be accessible to journalists outside the White House press pool. This lack of clarity adds a layer of suspense as the city and nation await more concrete information. Trump's latest social media message fits into a pattern of remarks on the issue throughout the past week. His heightened focus on crime followed an attempted carjacking and an unarmed assault on a former senior official known as Edward Corristine, or Big Balls, as he is sometimes called. In response to that incident, Trump suggested a firm federal intervention, stating, "We're going to have to federalize D.C. and run it the way it's supposed to be run." He also mentioned the possibility of deploying the National Guard quickly, highlighting the urgency he feels about the situation. During a Wednesday briefing, the president expanded on these ideas, speaking about the potential move to federalize the D.C. police force entirely. He also reiterated the threat of sending the National Guard into the city and revealed that legal experts were exploring the option of reversing the Home Rule Act, an act that currently grants Washington, D.C. a degree of local self-governance. But here's a critical detail many might overlook. Overturning the Home Rule Act would require congressional approval, making it a complex and politically charged endeavor. On the other hand, federalizing the police force or deploying the National Guard could be actions taken unilaterally by the president. To address public safety more immediately, Trump announced that several federal law enforcement agencies would increase their patrols in D.C., particularly in high-traffic areas, a move intended to enhance visibility and deter crime. This week's surge in attention to Washington's crime levels is part of a longer history. President Trump has expressed concerns about crime, graffiti, and urban decay in the district for years, often framing these issues as symptoms of neglect and mismanagement. Back in March, he signed Executive Order No. 14252 titled Making the District of Columbia Safe and Beautiful, which created the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force. The task force was charged with coordinating federal efforts to improve law enforcement presence and surveillance across the city. Despite all this buildup, Monday's announcement is an open question mark. What exactly will it include? Will it be a game-changing policy, a symbolic gesture, or a new enforcement strategy? And perhaps more provocatively, what does federal control over a city like Washington, D.C., mean for local democracy and residents' rights? These questions remain unanswered and are sure to spark robust debate. How do you feel about the possibility of federalizing city police or sending the National Guard into D.C.? Do you believe this could effectively reduce violent crime, or do you see it as an overreach of federal power? Share your thoughts and join the conversation below, because this is one issue where opinions are as contested as the crime itself.